Well, welcome back to Carolina Saltwater Living, y'all. Today is all about spare ribs and planting some things in our new little garden. So I'm going to show you both of those. And there is a surprise that you're going to see near the end of this video. Don't fast forward to it because you're just so overly excited. It's a short video already, guys. It's a dipping sauce. A dipping sauce that, Lord, if I had the money to market and have bottled in a facility that's inspected, I'm pretty sure it would be a big thing. I just kind of discovered it on my own, experimenting in the kitchen. And you guys are going to love it if you try it for yourself. I'll give you the full recipe breakdown. That's how willing I am to share this good dipping sauce with you guys. Get this pit boss fired up, get spare ribs on, get doing little stuff in the garden. All right, while the cooker's getting up to temp, got some extra material here to get into these two raised beds so that we can plant a few things. Got some cow manure compost, which is just sand, pine shavings, and it's really the cheapest thing you can buy at a big box store. And probably, it's one of the best things you can use to amend a raised bed as far as like, instead of spending all the high dollar money on pot and mix alone, get some of this, mix it together. It helps with drainage, it helps with water retention, and it just helps with bulking things up. All right, we'll plant some stuff here in a few minutes, but right now I want to get these spare ribs on. Picked these up fresh yesterday from our independent local grocer, and I am not trimming anything, y'all. I'm not taking silver skin or whatever you want to call it on the back-sided ribs off this time. I am just going to straight up cook it like it is. That's a membrane that runs on the back side. It's what keeps all the guts in, but it's clean, and so I'm going to leave it because there's a lot of cow fat, a lot of lard up under there, and that's going to help season these as they're cooking. I know I got my hands nasty. I'll have to clean this. I always do that. I don't think to open up stuff before I get to going. Butter fingers once you got that grease on your fingers. I'm just using seasoned salt, y'all. I like that on pork. If I were doing beef, I like something with bigger chunks of seasoning in it. I just really like seasoned salt. It's got everything in it that we like. Sugar and spices. Plenty of salt. And I'm not going crazy with it because this stuff tends to be on the salty side. I'm going to cook these at 220 degrees for about 3 hours. And then we're going to wrap it. Not sure if I'm going to use foil or butcher paper for this one, because we like them real tender, y'all. But I'm cooking at 220, so, and there's plenty of fat to render. So I may just use butcher paper. I like doing it that way. All right, don't go crazy. Don't go crazy, Matthew. Let's get it on the cooker. All right, the meat's on. Now it's time to go plant some Blue Lake bush beans, green beans. We are out of our frozen beans. We've got plenty canned, y'all, that we brought from the old homestead down here to the coast when we moved. So trying to hang on to those. We like eating them fresh. In other words, we blanch them, freeze them, stir fry them in a pan. And we love them, y'all. It's nice and crispy. It's almost like eating a fresh bean. So we'll plant probably half of one of these beds in these, and I'm not sure what else Lisa wants to plant, so I better not get too crazy with it. I'll just take a reed here and lay out my rows. Make a little indentation. I go about every 6 inches. This is how we've always done it, and it seems to work out really good. Plenty of yield with the beans. Usually get about 3 pickings. First picking's kind of light. Second picking is a bumper crop, and the third picking is usually decent. Better than the first, not as good as the second. But it'll be enough beans in this one little, basically 3.5 by 3.5 square, that will feed us all the fresh meals that we want, sides, through the winter. That's how easy growing stuff in these raised beds is. Alright, got my lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 rows. Basically, it's about 18 feet of row if you were in a traditional garden. And all I do is I come through here and put me a bean about every 4 inches or so, because not every one will germinate, but usually they do pretty good. We keep our stuff in the freezer, and it's called, I think it's called striation, I believe is what it's called. It actually preserves your bean so that you can plant these beans. We have planted some beans and corn up to 10 years old and still have good germination. So just go through here, plant every bean. Don't be tempted to cover yet. Come back and cover at the end, tamp them down, and water it. Now, cover these beans up. It doesn't take much, and tamp them down. Good seed to soil contact. All the way through your bed. Suck them in good. Plenty of water, because there's not been any water put on to this compost. Alright, beans are planted. Figured I'd show off the greenhouse since I'm here. Got some new lettuce growing. That's been about 2 weeks. That's about 2 weeks of growth. So it's replacing this one that we've cut 4 times now, and it's time to pull that up. I'll do some replant on that today so we can keep lettuce in succession. Look at these tomatoes, y'all. Look at all the tomatoes on these vines. There's a bunch of them. You can't see them all. This is a container variety that Lisa bought. I don't know where she got them, but we've got them in these little 5-gallon containers. You got to water them a lot, y'all, about 3 times a day, but it gives you a nice break to come out and do something like that, especially if you're working from home, working in the house. Gives you an opportunity to get outside for a minute. This is a cut and come back variety. It's been really good, and I'll pull it up and scatter it on this bed and just let it compost back into this bed. Careful to remove the roots so it's not rooting out here and trying to keep going. But this will break down really quick in this heat down here. throw the root stems out for the most part, maintaining my soil in my little wicking pot here. I've got more soil, but I try to get several uses out of it before you gotta turn it out. This will dry out here on top. Ready to use again. I'll go ahead and show you real quick how I plant this lettuce. And actually what I'm planting right now is from Johnny's Seeds Summer Crisp. It's a Muir lettuce. Lisa really likes it. It's pelletized. It's got a little clay encapsulation on it. And I'm just going to go through here and randomly place it. Try not to get so many that it's overcrowded crazily, but every couple of inches I'll put some, and it's going to germinate no problem. So get it on in here. Try not to go too deep with it. It's not always a good thing when it comes to this. All right. A few more in here. All right, let's go with that. I don't want to be wasteful with the seed. These couple scatter in there. And then, don't worry about poking them down into the dirt. What I like to do, and get this bag open. All right, I take this good seed starting mix and I crumble it up over the top of the seeds lightly, and keep it dry. You don't want this stuff molding on you, so keep it dry in the bag and just use it sparingly to cover up your seed like this. And this is all it takes, y'all. A little bit more. I see some seeds exposed. Give them a little pat. See some on top there. A little bit more. When you pat down, you'll see them pop to the surface sometimes. Get them back under. There we go. Give it a good mist. Plenty of water already in there. That's good. That's sufficient. There we go. Put it on the rack in the greenhouse. Check, make sure that everything is covered. And in a few days, we'll have Muir lettuce popping up. Summer Crisp. All right, I brought it inside for a minute. Those ribs are done. Got busy doing yard work. Ended up wrapping them in foil because I wanted them extra tender, because I'm gonna make me a rib sandwich tonight. I'm gonna show you the sauce that I came up with, the dipping sauce of the day. I believe we had it on French fries and maybe some chicken strips or something like that, but came up with it. It's real basic, y'all. If I could sell this stuff, if I had a way to actually market it, sell it, it'd be a big hit. So one of these companies, maybe they'll actually see this and try to recreate it. I'm not going to give you the exact measurements. Y'all do everything by eye, so I'm just doing a small portion of it right now starts off with good old Duke's mayonnaise, but use whatever mayonnaise you like. This stuff's gotten expensive, y'all. I'm just making a little bit of it here to go with the ribs tonight. It's Duke's mayonnaise, raw honey, about probably a teaspoon and a half there, and probably 2 to 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise. All right, Mount Olive brand, it don't matter what brand, this is the one we like. Dill pickle juice. And I'm just gonna eyeball about a teaspoon there for this. And this is dehydrated and ground jalapeno from the garden. I'm gonna go ahead and put about a half a teaspoon in there. And y'all, all you do is give it a whisk, and it's all gonna come together pretty simply. Easier in a bigger bowl, but this is how I'm doing it right now, just so I'm not making a bunch of it tonight. Wings, that's what we had it on. I fried wings. Man, they were so good. But this stuff slathered on there, way better than ranch dressing or something like that. But real creamy because of that mayo. You can see all the specks of that jalapeno, that dehydrated jalapeno in there. You're going to get that acidic taste from the dill pickle juice. Oh yes. I'm just going to have me a taste here right off. Look at that, if you can see it. Creamy. It's out of this world, y'all. It's that good, and it's that simple. Once again, I wish I could go to these folks right here, or these folks right here, and say, let me give you my exact recipe. People would love it. Y'all will love this. Give this a try. You saw what I did here, a small little portion here. Gave you basic measurements. Adjust it to your taste, but you can switch out habanero powder for this, cayenne powder, anything you wanted to do pepper-wise. Shoot, just probably black pepper if you don't like a lot of spice. No salt needed, no sugar needed, because you've got raw honey right in there. I'll show you that on a rib here in a few minutes. Hot ribs, straight off of the smoker, cooker. Look at here, look at here, look at here. If y'all can get a good look at these ribs. Check that out. Went 3 hours, 220. Then I wrapped them for 2.5 hours. Didn't add anything to it, plenty of fat. And then uncovered, sauced them with just some Duke's Old Hickory. Something simple, y'all. Let me get that sauce out. You're gonna see something good here. You're gonna see it, you ain't gonna taste it, you ain't gonna smell it, but I promise you, you're gonna see it. All right, open up this good sauce. Just get me it's gonna fall right off of the bones, so it's gonna get me a piece here. Give me a piece of this rib. Look at that. Tender, tender. That's how we like it. A little of this sauce. How to make you whistle, Dixie. It is that good, guys. Guys, y'all have a good day. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of cooking, a little bit of gardening. We're going to get out on the boat Monday, Lord willing. It's almost the weekend. Lord willing, and do some fishing. We will see you on the next one.